Ranger Nation, I'm James Fortner, your guest host for tonight's Ranger Rundown. Josh Maschenheimer couldn't be here due to a prior commitment, and Todd Jones is busy streaming the Greenwood volleyball game over on GSN, which is starting any minute now. But that's great news for you and me because we've got an exciting show lined up for you tonight, and it is wall-to-wall football. First, we'll sit down with offensive line coach Ryan Cox and one of his linemen, junior Aaron Carbajal. Then we'll chat with wide receiver coach Larry Galindo and senior receiver Cade Rowalt. Finally, we'll close out the show with athletic director and head football coach Brian Hill. So grab some popcorn and maybe sneak a little bit of that Halloween candy because it's Ranger Rundown time. All right, let's get this edition started. And we're sitting down with, we're kicking things off right here with the group that's responsible for making all those highlight plays work. It's our offensive line coach, Coach Ryan Cox, and lineman Aaron Carbajal here with me. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Hey, glad to be here.
Awesome. Hey, Coach, let's start with you. This is your first year leading the offensive line, and they've been doing a phenomenal job thus far this season. What's been the transition been like for you?
Well, for me, I've always been an O-line guy. You know, I grew up playing on the offensive line, and I always wanted to do this stuff. And so it's very exciting for me to get back into the trenches, you know, doing the dirty work and everything. You know, we got a great group of guys. You know, we really do. We're too deep, plus some that, you know, they know what they're doing. They're excited to be on the offensive line. And so it makes the job fairly easy for me and very, very enjoyable.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Coach, it seems like we don't always have the biggest linemen out here, especially when you look across the district. You know, you don't see all the towers that you see sometimes across the way, but you have one of the most physical offensive line around. And what unique coaching philosophy do you have that helps these guys be more physical and make up the difference?
Well, the biggest thing is just instilling confidence in them and to what we do. You know, we practice very, very hard. You know, we practice against a very physical defense. You know, our defense has been very physical this year, you know, up front and at the, you know, the linebackers and things like that. And so for us, you know, we practice physical and we gain confidence in everything that we do, and that helps us, you know, regardless of the size. You know, we got a couple guys who, you know, they're big, you know, 6'4" guys. We got, you know, Aaron over, you know, he's, you know, about my size, right? And so, but you know, instilling that confidence, you know, is really, really big.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, when you're undersized like that, man, you just got to have that mentality that you're just going to get after somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
That makes up the difference. Hey, Coach, as we head into district play, what areas you're hoping to see improvement in?
Well, two big things. The first one, we got to cut down on holding calls as an entire staff. We've been talking about that a lot, you know, cutting down on the holding penalties and things like that. And, you know, start having really big plays on first down, the holes. So now we're sitting at 1st and 20s, really setting us back. And so improving in that area with our hands and with our feet and things like that. But then also, too, playing a full game. You know, we have, you know, when we talk about it a lot, we've yet to play a full 4 quarters. You know, we play really good for 3. We have one really bad quarter, you know. And so putting a full game together, I think, is going to be really, really big going forward.
Yeah, especially as you get into district, you've got to put those full games together because you've got some big competition coming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you looking for this Friday night as we take on Monahans in that first district game?
Man, you know, they're a physical group. You know, you got to give it to Monahans. They always have guys who are going to play really hard and fast and physical and things like that. But again, you know, we've talked about it a lot. You know, we can't be out physical. You know, we would be very confident in what we do, know our job, go and meet the challenge, and just face them and go. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, Coach, you brought Aaron Carbajal with you. Why don't you introduce him to everybody out there?
Yeah, so this is Aaron Carbajal. He's our left guard. Wears number 66. He's been awesome this year. You know, very, very coachable. Very, very coachable guy. You know, he enjoys being on the offensive line. He loves what he does. You know, and so we're glad to have him around for sure.
Awesome, Eric. Great to have you on the show today, man.
Yes, sir. I'm glad to be here. And thank you for the words, Coach.
Yeah, that's right.
So how's the season going so far for you?
The season has truly been phenomenal, you know, and that's all thanks to the coaches preparing us every single practice, you know, every single game. especially on game day, I'm just really thankful that it's them that they get to coach us, and we just go out there and execute. I wouldn't want to be out there with anybody else than those guys on the team.
Awesome, man. What are your goals the rest of the way this season?
District is not that far away, but I like to take things game by game. Right now it's Monahans, so on Friday night we're gonna go out there and be Monahans. But the standard and the goal every single day and every single practice is to get a little bit better.
Awesome. So you've had a little bit of time between last game and this game. Have you got some extra preparation in for Monahans?
Yes, sir. We took the bye week, and we took it seriously. We had a lot of practice. It wasn't a day off. Monahans isn't taking any days off, so we shouldn't either. So we took full advantage of it. We're gonna go out there and execute Friday night.
Awesome, man. Hey, do you got any pregame rituals that help you get prepared for the game?
Yes, sir. Thank God, I was blessed with a brother that was put in my position last year, and he's able to get my mind right before I go out there and take the field. So I'm really grateful for him that he's able to. I call him for a couple hours before the game, just to ease my nerves down.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, brothers are great that way. I had 3 of them, so
yes, sir.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Just a couple of them went ahead of me, so that's awesome, brother. Hey, Monaghan's been a long-time rival. Are you excited to face them this Friday?
Yes, sir. Personally, it's my first time going out there to go play against them, but I know it means a lot of the community, and I'm just really grateful that they trust not only me, but the rest of the offensive line to go out there and do the dirty work for them.
Absolutely. Wouldn't have anybody else doing it for us, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, it's time for some rapid-fire questions. You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask a question, and then you guys, we'll start with Coach Cox, but you guys both answer the same question. How's that sound?
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Good.
All right. So if you were a superhero, which one would you be?
Spider-Man.
Captain America.
Spider-Man and Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
Those are 2 solid answers, man.
I agree with that.
What's your favorite color?
Black.
Blue.
Black and blue. That's the way offensive linemen work right there. Everybody at the end is black and blue. All right, favorite movie?
Avengers Infinity War.
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
Man, those
It's
are
a great
tough
movie.
movies. That'll get you fired up for a Friday right there,
no
Coach.
doubt. No doubt.
All right, what scares you?
What's in the dark?
Anything in the dark.
Yes, sir.
Spiders of all kinds, shapes, and sizes. Yeah.
Are you still responsible for killing them in your household?
I am very reluctantly. My wife would disagree, but I'm going to say yes.
There you go. All right, favorite food?
Tacos.
Tacos.
Yes, sir.
Tex-Mex.
Tacos and Tex-Mex. You guys are on my favorite list, man. That's right up there.
Love it.
All right, are you a LeBron guy or a Jordan guy?
Jordan guy.
Hey, man, that's a good guy right there. Go, Jordan.
You don't find many in this generation
I
that say
know.
Jordan,
Hey,
man.
I'm proud of him.
Dude, you're teaching him up right, Coach. You're doing the job. You're doing the job. All right, last one. Best Halloween candy?
Sour Patch Kids.
Ooh, Twix.
Twix. Those are solid choices right there. Hey, gentlemen, thank you both for taking the time and chat with me. Stick around because right after this short break, we'll be joined with Coach Galindo and Cade Rowalt.
Sir.
And welcome back. Joining me right now, we have wide receiver coach Larry Galindo and senior receiver Cade Rowalt. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me today.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad you're here. Hey, Coach Galindo, I'll start with you. Over the last few years, several years, it's no secret that you have an identical twin out there that's coaching in Monahans. So I've heard people talk about this being the Galindo Bowl. And I'm sure it adds a little bit of excitement for you and your family. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so it's exciting to go against my brother. We've been doing it now this will be year 7 that we get to go head-to-head. And so if we're talking about records, including sub-varsities and other sports that we've coached against each other, I would say I have the head-to-head. I'm probably over 70% on that.
Ooh, that's a good winning percentage,
yeah, no
Coach.
doubt.
That's a good winning percentage. We need to take that into this week.
And now, if we're talking about varsity only, then I do still have the head-to-head on that one, and I'm 4-2 in that one. And so
4-2?
hopefully trying to extend that to 5-2.
Hey, let's get to work and keep that going. All right. Hey, does that family rivalry add anything for Friday night, or is it just business as usual for you guys?
I mean, I try to keep it as business as usual. What's funny is that my brother is also the special teams coordinator for Monahans, and so I do that for us here. And so I try to think of like the way he thinks, and so I try to plan accordingly. And so I try not to make it about me, because I mean I don't want it to be about me. But I'm excited for the challenge, because I know he coaches those guys really well, and so looking forward to see what he's doing or what he has a game plan for us. But I think we're ready for whatever he has planned.
That's awesome. All right, rivalry aside, what positives you seen this year from the receivers, and what are you hoping to see improve in district as we head that way?
I think the biggest thing is that these guys are coachable. They come in and work hard every day, and so we coach them very hard, and so they respond to that, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But also we have depth, and so I feel like that's something that we built upon from last year. We can put these guys in any position on the field, and they're successful at it. So we do put a lot on their plate as far as formations go, and so we expect them to line up and execute what we have drawn up for them. And so I would say that's a big positive. And then they're team first players, so they're not concerned specifically about their own stats, but they just want to win. And so I think that's big for our program.
Yeah, it's an unselfish group of guys. When one person, especially when you're a receiver, sometimes that ball goes the other direction, and you're running kind of that route that's drawing people off of them and pulling it another way. So that you have to be an unselfish person to run those routes and,
Yes,
and do the job for the team.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Hey, what will you be looking for from the team as they face Monahans this Friday?
I think the biggest deal is making sure that we put 4 quarters together. I know Coach Cox was talking about it. I feel like we can come out in spurts, and sometimes we just look flat at times. And so I think the biggest deal is putting forward 4 solid quarters together, and then just executing the game plan.
Man, that's great. Yeah, 4 quarters has got to be put together. We were just talking about that just a second ago with Coach Cox, when you've got to have that all the way through as you get into that tougher competition in district. All right, well, you brought a gentleman with you, Cade Rowalk. Coach, why don't you introduce everybody to Cade for us?
So I've coached Cade now for the past 3 years. He's been a 3-year starter on varsity, and I mean, there's so many things I can say about him. He hasn't missed practice. He doesn't miss meetings. He doesn't miss walkthroughs. And so he's an example of what it means to be bought in. And so I've been honored to coach Cade these past 3 years, and so I've enjoyed this season with him, and so I'm just trying to enjoy it as long as I can.
Man, that's a great introduction. Cade, you're no stranger to the Ranger Rundown, are you, buddy?
No, sir.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, what's it like stepping onto this field as a senior, and has it changed your approach any for the game?
Yeah, with it being my last year, I'm just trying to make like the best of every moment that I can, and just try to go out with a bang.
Is it a challenge as you get into that senior year? Do you feel more responsibility for leadership role, or does any of that kind of change for you?
Oh, yes, sir. Because, like, you know, being the oldest on the team, or the oldest class on the team, you know, everybody's kind of looking up to the senior class. So I just try to lead the best I can.
Absolutely. Are you a lead by example kind of guy? Are you a out front kind of guy? What's kind of your style as you lead guys?
I'm more of a lead by example guy, but
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Both
I was a lead by example guy, so sometimes you got to get vocal, but man, sometimes you just need those guys to just say, "Hey, jump on my back, follow me. We're going to go the right direction," and that's an awesome way to be. What are your goals for the rest of the season, both individually and as a team, Cade?
As a team, to go and win the state championship, and then for myself is to get the most receiving yards during a game, which I think like 186, but
That's a pretty high bar.
yeah.
Hey, do you pass any cash along to the quarterback, throw one your way, or any kind of incentives?
Nah.
Little candy in his locker? Nothing?
Nope.
Man, I'm trying to teach you some tricks here, brother. All right, what's your favorite moment been this season so far?
Out of this season, I'd probably have to say the Andrews game when we're down by 13 with under 3 minutes left, and we stayed in it and didn't give up and found our way back in and was able to win it.
That was a heck of a ball game. That was a heck of a ball game. All right, Monahans is a longtime rival. How excited are you to step on the field against them after a few years?
I'm pretty excited. I think the last time we played them was my freshman year, and they've always been a pretty good competition in football, track, and basketball. So
Yeah, they've got some good athletes over there. They've got some good athletes over there, and they've had a good run in their football program the last couple of years, making some pretty deep runs in playoffs. So it'd be a good challenge, man. That's exciting. All right, it's time for some rapid-fire questions. All right, I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and you guys can answer the same question for me, and we'll get it rolling. All right, sound plan? All right. What superhero would you be if you were a superhero?
I would be Spider-Man.
Another Spider-Man. All right.
You took my answer. That was my answer too.
Two Spider-Mans. All right. What's your favorite color?
Red.
I'd have to say red too. Took my answer again.
I know
we
why you
didn't
play
talk
for him
about
now.
this either.
Red and red. All right. Favorite movie. If this one's the same, we're going 3-fers here.
Go ahead, Kate. I'll let you answer this one first.
I don't really watch movies like that, but I'd probably have to say Real Steel. That was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up. But
I would say Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a cool movie too. All right. What scares you?
I think what scares me most is failure from not being prepared.
I would agree with that. That's a terrifying moment if you walk into something and don't feel prepared. Cade, what scares you, buddy?
Spiders or any kind of bug or anything that flies or crawls or anything like that. But
Spiders tends to be a popular answer. And I agree. All right, favorite food?
Steak with a baked potato, green beans, the salad. I eat a lot, and so I'm not picky.
The whole
and
meal,
so-
not
oh,
one
yeah.
thing. I want the whole meal.
Oh yeah, a lot of people know that too, and there's no secret about that.
Cade, what's your favorite food?
I have to say chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. There
He
you
told
go.
me it was steak too. He didn't want to say the same answer.
Yeah.
Change his answer midstream.
Oh yeah,
We won't hold it against him. All right, are you a LeBron guy or a Jordan guy?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Another Jordan guy. You
And
know, I'm
then-
doing your jobs
yeah,
right out there,
This is
Coach.
Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron.
Jordan, Kobe, then LeBron. Yeah, we didn't get Kobe on there. All right, best Halloween candy.
I would say the caramel and apple suckers.
Okay.
I'd have to say the Hershey's.
You a Hershey guy?
Yeah.
I like them. That's awesome, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you guys showing out and coming out and hanging out with me today. And best of luck to you both on Friday as you guys take on Monahans out there in the Galindo Bowl.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let's go get one, Coach.
Yes,
there we go.
sir.
Let's run that record up. Hey, stay tuned with us. Coach Brian, he'll be right back with us. All right, we're back, and I'm excited to be joined by athletic director and head football coach Brian Hill. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, I appreciate it. It's good to be here. You've got more hair than Todd Jones and a cleaner chin than Josh Masonheimer. So, win-win.
Double
We
win today.
miss them, though. We miss them.
We miss both those guys.
If they tune in, we miss them.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I'm just the sit-in guy. We've established that earlier in the week. All right, before we jump into football, Coach, I want to briefly talk about the success across all of Greenwood sports programs. The football team's been doing great, but there's a lot of other success out there in the program. The Ranger volleyball team starting round 2 in district here.
Yeah, starting tonight, and they've done a fantastic job. Yeah, they've made it through the first round unscathed with a perfect 5-0 record. girls cross country team won the district championship. The boys got third at the district meet. Both teams qualified for the regional cross country meet. And we're just, I think our goal is to be the best athletic department in the state of Texas, and that starts obviously with fall sports, and it starts with district championships. So give a lot of credit to our coaching staff. They've done a really, really good job, worked hard all through the summer to prepare our athletes, both Rangers and Rangerettes, for the fall competition season. And then we've got great kids at Greenwood. They're extremely competitive. They want to do the right thing. They want to win. They're willing to work hard to win. And so I think they get all the credit in the world. But we're excited about our start. It's been fun, and we're going to see if we can carry that success and that momentum into the winter and the spring.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way you set a tone for a season to start off a school year and get it going. And we've clearly had a lot of success on the football field as well. Excited about the varsity team start, a 5-1 record. But I was looking through the program, and program-wide, we're 28-4-1 this season. That's really taking care of some business out there from top to bottom.
Well, we're really, really pleased with the start. And, last week we had some middle school games that got canceled on us, but we're able to pick up 2 more. And so went 2-0 in those games. So even on the bye week, we were able to get, to 30 total program wins. And like I said, it's no different than the success the girls have had in volleyball and cross country. We've got great kids. We've got a wonderful coaching staff, especially Coach Murby and Coach Ventura down at the middle school. And just the job they do preparing those guys for high school football. And then, our high school football staff is tremendous. And the kids are no different. They're extremely competitive, hyper competitive, almost to a fault. And they want to win. Losing hurts. It means something to them. And so just could not be more excited to be in a program where we've got kids that care about winning. And that's what we've had this fall. And so we're excited for that. But, with a 30 win, 4 loss, and 1 tie record, I think the future is bright for Greenwood football for the next, at least 5 or 6 years to come at a minimum. So we're excited about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And that's one thing you can't coach is people that want to win, and kids that grow up want to win, and they want to show up and win, and they're going to do what it takes to win. And, man, when you don't have to coach that piece of the, piece of the puzzle, man.
Play with confidence, and when it bothers them to lose, you've got something special.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, Friday marks the start of district play for your team. How does that change things around the field house as you prepare for that district start?
Well, I think we kind of talk about it's not one football season. It's potentially 3 football seasons. In the pre-district, you get to know what your team's about, kind of your strengths, your weaknesses, what you need to work on, maybe changing positions, putting people in different spots to be successful, and you learn about yourself. And if you win games, that's obviously the goal, but you're hoping to learn about your program in the first season, the pre-district season. And then as we transition into the district games, it's like a job. You've got to punch the clock every single day, and the wins and losses mean something. They mean a whole lot. And so I think as far as the preparation piece goes, nothing has really changed. We go through our practice schedule. We stick to our routine. It's important for our coaching staff. It's important for our kids. But at the end of the day, we know these next 4 games, they mean a whole lot. And if you perform at a high level and you're able to play for 4 quarters and play well at a high level, then you get invited to that 3rd season, and that's when all the fun happens. And so we're excited to get things kicked off against a really quality Monahan's team, and we're excited to get things going. But I don't think it's any secret to our kids or anybody in the field house that these next 4 are they mean a little bit more than the other ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. You kind of spoke about routine and kind of had that break up a little bit this week with a bye week. So was this week that you had a chance to rest and recover, was that a good thing? And did it come at an opportune time for the team as you're timing up coming into that district matchup?
Yeah, the bye week's one of those things. It's kind of a double-edged sword. You're welcome the break. You welcome the opportunity to get healthy and kind of recover from some bumps and bruises, but it does take you out of your routine, especially when you've been playing fairly well for the last month of the season. You kind of hate to have that break in the season. But knock on wood, we've been fortunate, that an injury bug hasn't hurt us too bad outside of, Gavin Ivey and Liam Larson and some of those guys. But last week we did, we had a kind of a strep throat outbreak in the locker room there. So it did come at a very opportune time. I feel like gave some guys a couple of days off to rest and recover and get over that a little bit. And we had 100% attendance today, so I think we're ready to rock and roll and give Monahans our best shot.
That's awesome. And speaking of Monahans, you guys have a long-standing rivalry between these teams that's been built on mutual respect between those programs. What's it like preparing for that type of a game?
Well, I'm really excited about it. I know that rivalry goes back decades, but they weren't in our district last year, and so this is, despite seeing them on the basketball court and baseball field and the track and all, through our spring sports, I've never had an opportunity to kick it off against Monahans, and so everything I know about the rivalry comes from Coach Galindo and his twin brother, and so I know there's plenty. It's based on mutual respect, but there's a little bit more at stake there, especially with families involved, and so we're excited about it. But Coach Stow and his staff do a fantastic job. You can see that on film. They play extremely hard. They're well coached. They're prepared in all three phases, and so. It's a quality opponent, and I don't think anybody in our field house thinks this is one of those where you can just show up and win. We're going to have to play at a high level and be consistent for all 48 minutes.
No, absolutely, absolutely. So what can we expect from Monahans this year?
They are, first on defense, they've got a core of guys that play on both sides of the football. So, those are very, very good athletes if they're able to play on, both, especially linemen, the offensive line and defensive line. AJ Navarrete, he's number 8. He's preseason picked by Dave Campbell to be the district MVP, so he's very, very active, very, very productive from his linebacker position. He does a great job. And then offensively, they've got, if I told you I'd be lying, at least 6 running backs that are very, very good. They do a great job of finding creative ways to get those running backs the football. Quarterback is dangerous with his feet, but he can also beat you through the air, and so we're going to have to be ready in both those phases of the game. And then Terry Galindo, our Coach Galindo's brother, the less handsome of the identical twins, I think. He does a really good job preparing those guys in special teams as well. And so they've got a very deep playbook in special teams wise. I would say just as talented as Sweetwater is in that phase of the game. So we've got our work cut out for us. I'm glad we're getting them after a bye week, so we've had a little extra time to prepare. But, it's one of those deals where it's 7 o'clock Friday. We're going to roll out the football and give them a best shot.
Absolutely. And as we roll out there, what are the keys to victory on Friday night for you, Coach?
Yeah, I think, coming off a bye week, we had an opportunity to stress fundamentals. And part of that, fundamental football is offensively holding on to the football. And we've done a pretty good job with that. For the most part, keeping the ball, not fumbling it, being smart with Lincoln's done a good job holding on to it from the quarterback perspective. And then defensively finding ways to force turnovers. Landon Butts has been really, really good. So is Dakota Underhill. Creating turnover, scoring on defense. Josiah Galindo had an interception for a touchdown against Pecos a few weeks ago. And so that's one thing. I think when we get in the red zone, we have to get points. Defensively, we've got to hold people to field goals at worst and no points at best. And then the hidden phase of the game is special teams, and Monahans is really good at it, and our Coach Galindo has done a really good job coming up with a game plan. And so I think if we can hold on to the ball, force turnovers, play good defense in the red zone, and win on special teams, we'll be pretty good.
Absolutely. What are some mistakes that you need to avoid in that matchup?
Yeah, we spent the whole bye week kind of reviewing our film, doing a little self-scout. Coach Cox mentioned it. Way too many special teams penalties and way too many holding calls on offense. Those are drive killers, especially early in the possession. If you go from a 1st and 10 run to a 1st and 20 do-over, that's not really good. And so we've got to clean that up. I think we, defensively, there's some communication errors that have bitten us a few times that we had to get cleaned up. And then we've had several long returns brought back, because of blocks in the back and penalties on special teams. And so we spent the bye week kind of cleaning some of that stuff up. And so hopefully I think we'll see a new fundamentally sound special teams offensive combo. And then, on defense, we're going to clean up some of the communication miscues.
Awesome, Coach. And as they come out here to play, and you got a bit of a home field advantage, what do you need from the crowd Friday night?
The Greenwood crowd is fantastic. They do a great job. Miss Rhines and the band, Carrie Burchett and the cheerleaders do a great job. So it's when you play at home especially, and Greenwood travels well, don't get me wrong, but when you play at home, I would say there were 4,500 people probably at the homecoming game. It was absolutely electric. And so the Greenwood faithful do a great job, and we love playing at home, and so we're fortunate to open up district play in front of our home fans.
That's awesome, Coach. Coach, thanks for sitting down with us today and chatting with me. I look forward to Friday night and seeing that district play holds for the Rangers as they get ready to kick it off. For everyone else, make sure to switch over to the Rangerette volleyball stream as they're taking on Andrews to kick off that round 2 of district play as we speak. And don't forget to tune in on Friday to watch the game. But as good as GSN, again, there's nothing that beats being there in person, packing that crowd out, packing the stands out, get loud, cheer these guys on, because I know that that electricity, it feeds out all the way across that field into those players, and it's
No doubt.
There's nothing better than playing in front of a Friday night crowd. There's not another experience in life.
There's no doubt about that.
There is no different. Nothing better. So from Rooster's Backyard, I'm James Fortner. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and see you next time on the Greenwood Streaming Network.